Once upon a midnight dreary, as I doom-scrolled weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious page of forgotten cooking lore, where I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis just a draught," I muttered, rattling my chamber door. "Only this, and nothing more." Even so I flung the portal, to espy the ghost or mortal who dare disturb my time to snore. In there stepped a stately raven into my dark place of haven, surely portent of yet something beyond this earthly shore. "Tell me, raven, why didst thou comest?" Quoth the raven, "Make some s'mores." "Surely not," said I so grimly, "think I of this dessert quite dimly. Best it left in years of childhood gone so long before. To make such treats at home, how tricky, and my hands end up so very sticky. And at the risk of sounding picky, yet I must implore, entreat me not to this, I beg you." Quoth the raven, "Make some s'mores." "Nay, again," I cried with fervor, near panic to the lay observer, "ask not this dish which I doth so abhor. May I be but cook so humble, make thee a pie or crumble, or dish of trifle which I guarantee you will adore. What shall I make for thee?" Quoth the raven, "Make some s'mores." "Fine, but I'm doing it my way." Starting my dessert by making some caramel. Let this go a little bit too dark, but it's fine. Then I'm whipping some egg whites. I've got 3 egg whites here. And whip them until they're kind of at the soft peak stage. And it's at this point that I should point out that a lesson that I have yet to learn is that you should always mix things in a slightly larger bowl than you think you need. In any case, I'm going to take that hot caramel and I'm going to start slowly beating it in, drizzling it in, beating it into the egg whites. I'm making a Swiss meringue. And another thing is, especially if you're using a hand mixer for this, you want to have the beater straight up and down so you're not flinging everything around, because otherwise you're going to end up with a stucco wall in your kitchen. You fling egg whites everywhere. Yeah, there was a bit of a cleanup that was needed this evening. Anyway, continue this, just slowly adding the caramel until it's all incorporated into your meringue. And it looks something like this. Now I'm going to take some heated cream cheese that I have blended with the centers of, I think I had about 12 to 15 chocolate Oreo cookies that I used for this. So this is the centers that I mixed with cream cheese and just fold that in. I have blended the actual cookie outsides of the Oreo cookies with some melted butter here. This is kind of like you make a cookie crumb crust for things like cheesecake and things like that. Once that's all well incorporated, I'm going to put it into my mold. This is just a raven-shaped cookie cutter that I got, and I stuck some plastic wrap in the center of it. Hopefully this will allow me to sort of release the shape when I'm all done molding this together, so it won't stick to the mold. And I'm just working those cookie crumbs around into all the little nooks and crannies. I don't have quite enough here, so add a little more. And just take your time and make sure that that cookie crumb layer goes all the way into all the little cracks and crevices of the mold. And mind you, if it wasn't apparent, this is going to be tipped upside down. Next is a layer of ganache. I just had some milk chocolate that I melted along with some half and half. And I added enough half and half that this won't entirely set back up into a solid chocolate layer. I'm simulating a s'more here, so what I don't want is for it to harden back up into a chocolate bar and be this hard layer in the middle of this. S'mores, the chocolate is supposed to be warm and goopy, right? Well, this is going to be cold, but it's going to be goopy. And I put too much in this mold, so now I have the fun task of trying to scoop the excess out. But I manage it. Did not want to actually fill the mold with chocolate. Would be tasty, but that's not what we're after here. Okay, just smooth it around once again. Try to work it into all the corners so that it conforms to the shape of the mold. And now I spoon in some of my Swiss meringue. Again, I'm overfilling this a little bit, but what the heck. This is an experiment. I don't know if this is going to work. Again, if you can get it off the spoon, try to work it into all the nooks and crannies. This is extremely sticky stuff, much akin to the marshmallow in an actual s'more. And I learned a few lessons from this experiment, one being that I should have sort of lubricated both the mold and the plastic wrap. This is going to come back to bite me later. And finally, if there's room, one final layer of cookie crumbs all over. And again, worked in. It helps that that meringue layer is sticky because now I can stick this cookie crumb layer to that. And I don't want to put too much pressure on this because I don't want to squish the meringue everywhere, and I don't want to collapse the air bubbles that I worked so hard to incorporate into it. So just be gentle. I probably shouldn't have flipped it over quite like that. I should have placed it against the plate and then flipped the plate and the mold over. And this is where that lubrication would have come in handy. This takes an embarrassingly long amount of time to actually unmold. Involved a lot of poking, prodding, harsh language. Eventually managed to get it to break loose. And it looked something like this. Now, again, really sticky stuff, so this wasn't the easiest thing to unwrap either, and doesn't look as pretty as it probably should. But again, this is an experiment. This is a proof of concept more than anything else. So, it basically worked, and after a little bit of cleanup, it looks something like this. Not perfect, but for a first attempt, not bad. Flavor was actually quite good. Almost reminiscent of a s'more, but a little fancier. And now the raven, thus placated, still yet has not vacated his place high upon my chamber door. Though future good eats doth entreat us, still he threatens
diabetes.
The sugar rush may yet defeat us, as our cocoa doom looms more. What more could this spectre demand of my soul? Quoth the raven, "Make some s'mores!"